change it back, and then we're here. Hello. How is everyone? Welcome. Welcome to DobbsQuest Season 1, Episode 20. Joining me, as always, we have the wonderful Daysnick.
Hello.
GameCube.
To the owner of the green 1992 Honda Accord, your lights are on.
And Turtle.
What's the deal with cruise line food?
Perfect. Absolutely flawless. This is DobbsQuest, the weekly role-playing game played by these three intrepid adventurers. For those that don't know, the general idea is that they will be presented with challenges. They're going to have to make decisions on how to approach these and how to solve the puzzles set before them. Then we roll some dice to see if they're successful. And based on that, various good or bad things happen. Great question. Happy to see you all out here tonight. Hope you're ready for some exciting adventures. Last we left our heroes, they had a lovely time on a stress-free voyage on the sea, and then everyone died. So Glenn, played by GameCube, is being tailed by some ne'er-do-wells from the Brotherhood of Shadows. And after trying to convince the party that they were up to no good, he, unbeknownst to them, went out to take care of things himself. One night, a fight erupted. The party, finding Glenn absent from the cabin that night, went to check in on him, found him mid-fight, and joined in, ridding the ship of the two would-be assailants. However, it turns out that they'd already made quick work of the rest of the crew over the night, in one way or another, leaving the ship abandoned aside from our three surviving party members. And so, trying their best to navigate towards the understandably unnavigatable fog-enshrouded islands, they decided to just drop anchor as the fog began to set, boarded the last remaining lifeboat, and set off in the general direction of the sound of seagulls. And so they found an island somewhere within the collection of islands known as the Shroud. And so now, with basically just the same packs they've been carrying through the wilderness, they find themselves on a mysterious island out here in the fogs. So, a few things to note. First off, according to Glenn, we learned last week that the Brotherhood does have some kind of presence on these islands. We don't know the details, but that's one little piece of information. Another piece of information is that, according to Serene, there is one island way off on the other side of this little archipelago that has a freshwater spring that some traders pass by to restock at. So there's at least some connection to the outside world on these islands. Now, how much space is between these islands, we're not sure. How hospitable they'll be. Good try. Oh, well. So, that is where we're at now. We have landed on the beaches. The rowboat just landing ashore onto the gravelly shore here of this one island of the Shroud. That's right. Now, let's see here. Do we have any other information? I think that's the main thing here. That's the main piece of this. So, where do we go from here, team? Oh, yes, it was revealed during this. We finally learned a little bit more about Glaine's backstory. We found that he wasn't exactly... Oh, wait, hang on. He wasn't exactly lying when he said that his cat was carried off by a bird, but he wasn't exactly telling the truth. We learned that Glaine's cat is being held as leverage by the leader of the organization, the Brotherhood of Shadows, of which he himself is a part of. This shadow walking ability that Glaine used to possess is not unique to him, and other Brotherhood members also possess this. So now we know that we're on a mysterious island looking for centaurs and elves, while also knowing that a lot of people have died for this cat.
And treasure, too.
And
the pirate treasure.
Yes, of course, treasure. Always good to have treasure. So, arriving on the shore, what is your first action you're going to take here? What do we do?
I would like to conceal the little boat that we came on. Hide Captain Barnes' body so that nobody does anything to our boat or gets rid of him or tampers with it while we're on the island.
Good idea. Good start. Okay. Glaine takes some time to find some of the nearby vegetation to sort of conceal the boat. He sort of flips it over to conceal the body, and also kind of pushes up some of the gravelly rocks on the beach up against it to kind of make it a little bit more flush, so that he can kind of pull down some vegetation and kind of hide it as best he can. He makes quick work of it. It doesn't look perfect, but at a distance, no one will really pay it any mind.
And are we still dressed as not ourselves, or have we shaken that, knowing that it's not really doing anything?
That choice is yours.
Serene's back to wearing her normal stuff at this point.
Okay.
Well, her clothing doesn't exactly stand out amongst humans. If you know what you're looking for, you can... It's not, like, an elf would be able to tell that it was elf-made clothing.
Right.
It blends in with humans well enough that they just think that she's, scholarly, she's, fancy or something.
Right.
But, it might be useful to be, since we're looking for elves, to, just be kind of a little bit identifiable.
Will you be wearing your Thunderwood mask?
She's going to have it on top of her head, under her hood, where she can pull it down quickly.
At the ready.
But she doesn't necessarily want it on while we might also still be encountering other nefarious individuals.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah, leaving the boat was our last chance of, be over encumbered with extra clothes or put your original gear back on. So I'm putting back my reversible green/brown cloak.
Right.
I'm wearing whatever color is, around here.
I'm going to go ahead and be geared for war because I only have one momentum anyway.
Perfect. All right, I'll mark that. And that will mean that your max momentum is down to 9. And your reset will be at 1. Okay, Torgan dons his heavy armor, unsure of what dangers lie ahead. So you are standing on this sort of gravelly beach. The waves of the sea still kind of crashing against the shore. Let's see. I think this area is going to be very, very heavy in cliffs. Lots of verticality around here. There's a lot of steep cliffs along the shoreline, with these rocky, gravelly shores, kind of against where the waves are hitting. Where the maybe during high tide, the or during low tide, maybe a little bit more revealed. But the rocky walls are a little bit smoothed out towards the bottom. When over the years and years, the heavy waves occasionally washing just a little bit of the cliffside away. But the cliffside sort of snakes along with the shore. Visibility is very low. This area is extremely foggy. Snakes along, yes. All right, where to? Or what do?
Do we have any idea where we're going?
Currently, no.
Is the magic stronger in any one direction?
I think right now there's a very sort of disorienting feeling associated with the sort of magical aura. So on the whole, not easy to use it to sort of line up your direction. But let's roll a let's see here. What would be a reasonable move to be making here? See where we can go. This might be
gather information.
Yeah, I think so, because we're not ready to undertake a journey because we don't actually have a we're not traveling just yet. So yeah, I think gather information. That'll be a wits roll. So that's search an area. So we're just going to be kind of looking around for any signs of life or something. Weak hit. Information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. And you get 1 momentum for that. So let's see. Something complicated.
I don't like how low my momentum is. So.
Yeah, your momentum is low. Good to use a lot of, momentum building abilities. All right, so what do you discover here? So somehow this introduces a new danger or complicates your quest. Your quest currently is just to... Oh, here you go. Currently, you're just interested in figuring out, is anybody here? Is there any signs of life? Let's ask the Oracle what we learn. Learn nature. Okay, so something complicating your quest.
While you think about it, can I ask a quick game question?
Absolutely.
Since I haven't done it very often, because I think it benefits the rest of the group to do it usually. Sojourn is what I have to do to shake my current status, right?
Correct. The shaken status.
What is that action like? When do we normally sojourn so that I can know when it's time to step up and try and attempt it?
The tag for that, the sort of activating line is when you spend time in a community seeking assistance. That is when you sojourn.
So if we were to find another establishment of elves, it'd be like my next chance.
Basically, until then, your spirit is going to be in really dire straits.
Okay.
In fact, I think there is a chance if you have to endure stress, and you are already, and you make a miss. So you endure stress, you miss, and you're already shaken. then I believe that's when you have to become corrupted. We'll check for sure if that ever comes up. But for now, nothing is activating that.
Health damage, but I guess that's something else.
If what?
I thought something made you take health damage if you were like out of the other thing. But maybe
if you have to endure stress beyond what you have, you suffer the remainder as momentum.
Okay.
So you should be mostly okay for now. Just don't do anything that would cause you horrible despair. Okay, so Serene is well versed with a lot of the natural world. She has studied plants an awful lot. A lot of times for their medicinal or poison capabilities, but she's picked up several things. And so she is kind of looking around at the pieces of vegetation that are kind of lining the area where the cliffs meet the shoreline. And from that, she is able to sort of piece together a little bit of information. It looks like there's some areas in the trees where it's very obvious that some kind of tool has been used on them for perhaps cutting down some branches, or perhaps getting some length of vine. But there's some very obvious, very old places in the trees where there's like tool marks that have healed over. Not sure exactly how long it's been. Maybe a year, but there's some old wounds on the tree that line up exactly with the sort you'd see where someone has sort of hacked in to the bark for whatever reason.
Yeah, so people come through here periodically, but it doesn't look like anyone's necessarily been here recently. This might be a hunting ground or something that they rotate through.
Do I recognize any of the markings as any symbols used by the Brotherhood?
Ooh, good call. Like some sort of information passed through. No, it does not look like anything like that. You do know a handful of sort of secret signs used for communication, sort of visual thieves' cant, but this does not.
Can we hear each other?
I can hear.
I hear you.
Yeah, we just don't hear him, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
But we hear him on the stream.
I have it muted.
Any second now. Oh, we should be
Okay,
back.
there we go.
There we go.
Yeah,
There you
it is.
are.
Any. All right, we're back.
Yeah, you were saying it doesn't appear to be something done by them.
Correct.
Last I heard. Okay. Torgan, is this anything centaur related or horse related that you can tell?
I don't know. Is it?
No hoof marks or anything. And although Torgan was friends with a horse, a talking horse, he knows little about centaur culture and secrets, having only just recently learned about them in the past month or so.
Did we tell from where we are which way like inland would be, like towards the center of the island, away from the beach?
It looks like your options for movement are either going to be following the shoreline or scaling the cliff, which, although dangerous, is not insurmountable. A lot of the rocks are kind of very craggy, and would lend themselves to scaling.
I think we might get away from this fog if we get away from the water. We can either follow the beach until we find an easier place to climb, or start working on that now. What do you two think?
I'd like to stay closer to the water for the moment. It's a more readily available food source if we get stuck.
All right, do we want to head, I guess, left or right along the beach?
Go east.
All right, we're gonna head out along the shore to see what we can find. So let's see here. Let's find a descriptor for this area. Expansive. Okay. So the shore begins to widen as you travel east. The cliffside recesses away from the shoreline quite a bit, and perhaps levels out significantly. It's still a cliff that would have to be scaled, but it is much shallower towards this area. The walls of the cliff do seem to sort of you've got a sort of Swiss cheese cliffside in this area, where the water and the waves have sort of crashed against. You see several areas hollowed out through the years, creating lots of twisting tunnels and caves against the cliffside. Still, the fog persists as you travel along the shoreline. As far as you have already heard rumor, the shroud itself is a sort of unnatural fog, something magical in origin.
Do we have a sense about what time of day it is?
Let's see here. So, woke up. It is nearing evening.
I think we should consider making camp in one of those caves above the high water mark. And I want to try and catch a couple fish to facilitate dinner.
Okay. So let's see here. In that case, that might be a secure an advantage maneuver here. Kind of preparing for making camp. Let's see here. That'll be using some form of expertise. So a wits roll. So you can make a roll with a +3. Try and prepare for making camp. Oh, but no.
Yeah, I guess we're not catching any fish.
Ooh, okay, hang on. Something. Ooh, what's amiss here? No fishy after all. Ooh, uh-oh. Raid vow.
Okay, look, it's a treasure chest.
How convenient. Okay,
Oh,
so
look, it's empty.
Torgan and Glenn head out towards the cave to scout out a location that's going to be high enough above the water level to stay dry through the night, and also something sufficiently concealed just in case, knowing the Brotherhood's presence. Serene is a distance away when something happens sufficiently. Thank you, Turtle. Let's see here. Ooh, so you are trying to get some fish caught. You're sort of just scanning the area, looking around. Presumably you carry at least a little bit of line with you. Very lightweight, very handy in different situations. And you spot something in the water which catches your eye. It almost looks like someone is out in the waves. But before you're able to figure out exactly what it is, you are assaulted by some sort of sea critter. Let's see, jellyfish, urchin, take your pick. Something that will cause you to have to endure harm. Not a shark. That seems a little bit ridiculous.
Maybe I stepped on a stingray.
There you go, a stingray. Why not? Very common in this part of the world. And that it's not that. It does cost you 1 health.
Oops.
So you can roll 4 to see if you can shake that off.
Should have been paying attention. Stepped on a skate.
Okay, weak hit. So no change. And then by the time you sort of regain yourself and look back into the waves, you see that whatever that mysterious figure you saw in the mists is gone.
Oh, are these mer elves? That'd be super cool.
I think it's time to make camp.
Yes, I think you're right. So you need to roll supply. So Torgan, why don't we have Torgan make that attempt here? So Glane and Iron Roll 4, yes. Glane and Torgan handle working on making camp. Strong hit, excellent. Serene returns not too long after, empty-handed, unfortunately. But you still have enough dried foods available to last you for the night. So you may each choose 2 of these. 1 health, 1 spirit, 1 momentum, or just +1.
I would like to take health and momentum, please.
All right, health and momentum for Serene.
Don't I have an ability that enhances this?
So that's your Story Weaver ability. That's if you choose the option to relax for spirit.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
She was out getting stung by a thing. I think she was busy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't opt in for the spirit, right? Can I?
Correct.
I'm stuck.
Yes. If you do so, you gain no benefit.
So, is supply one of the things I can take?
No.
No. Okay, I'll just take the
Not.
momentum, I guess.
All
It's
right.
the only one that applies to me.
Oh, that's a good. Well, +1 on prepare is still available. I still don't think it's possible to do the same option twice. Mostly because that would make partake pointless compared to recuperate. So I think you have to choose 2 different ones.
I'll take a momentum and a spirit.
All right. And then Glane will take the momentum, and you can take +1. Well, if you undertake a journey, which that may just be a null.
Just a lost
You
point.
can make that
Yeah.
roll. Fine.
Because someone has to give us that, right? We can't just wake up and say,
Well, you can
Let's
undertake a
adventure.
journey. It's just the sort of launching item for that is when you, let's see here, what is it? When you travel across hazardous or unfamiliar lands.
that's where we are.
That's true.
Yeah, when we wake up, we'll go on a journey for one of the 4 things we're here to do.
Just gotta find.
Every step, we're going to stop and say, "I'm going to take a journey now."
Yeah, the trick is that you don't really know where you're heading, but you know you have to travel across the land. So, actually, that seems reasonable. All things considered, I
Blanket,
think that makes sense.
You know,
Yeah. All right.
looking for a horse elf treasure while avoiding the Shadow Brotherhood, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's a whole blanket statement.
There's a whole. Yeah, we're doing the thing.
So I guess we slept through the night.
Yes. Successfully slept with no problems throughout the night. You were not accosted by any terrible monsters. The tides were not high enough to wash away your campsite mid-evening or anything like that. So let's see. This is a dangerous, perhaps formidable journey. I'm going to say dangerous. Rank 2. So we're going to journey across this shrouded island. Now, in order to begin, you have to actually roll to undertake a journey, which is a wits roll. Now, here's the thing. Glane is the one that took the +1.
Which puts him at a 3.
Which
so
puts him at a
it'd be
3.
the same as if I rolled it. So
Yeah.
go for it, Glenn.
So Glane spends some time during camp, sort of doing a little bit of preparation, making sure all your supply is ready to go in the morning, so that you've got every advantage you can. Perfect. So you get to do an iron roll 3.
All right. Oh, for horse's sake.
Oh no!
Ooh, you are waylaid by a perilous event. Pay the price. Oh dear, oh dear.
I just woke up.
Why this? Why today?
Why now?
Let's see, and you do not have enough momentum to make that work. All right, oh great Oracle, defy revenge.
Oh, God. Wonder what that applies to.
Oh no! Looks like that
So one of
Brotherhood-
those people we killed, one of them, like his brother is coming to beat you up for killing his brother. And we're
How do
going to
they-
stab him
How
in
do
the
these
neck.
people know about these things? There's no internet.
I think we've already run into one of the Brotherhood.
You know what? That may not be out of the question. It's certainly interesting.
Or maybe like there's some animal and we slept in their house and they're mad about it.
That could be.
Or this is an island full of mollusks.
Oh no. Let me
Bad
see if
turtle.
there.
No.
Let me see if there is a good beast of sorts that would fit in this area.
It's a giant crab.
Giant enemy crab. Perfect.
That's in the. Well, it's not a crab; it's a lobster. But that's in the monster manual.
Well, yeah,
It
but
was
I'm
a
not
rock
using the Monster
lobster.
Manual. I'm using the Iron Sworn rulebook.
Did we get take any butter off the ship?
Let's see here. All right. So, all right. Early in the morning, you are in the cave, quietly preparing. Thank you, Germ Dove. That is almost a year. You are quietly preparing yourself for the journey ahead from the cave. Before you set out, something of peril occurs. You see two people traveling along the rocky shoreline. Glane recognizes their attire. These are members of the Brotherhood. They have not seen you.
Are we still in the cave?
Yes.
Someone's going to have to roll for an advantage since they don't see us yet.
I've got Shadow. I reach back to Serene and Torgan, kind of put a hand up like a pause motion, and start stepping towards them to back us back into the cave and whisper that these two guys are coming.
Yeah, they don't seem to be heading your way specifically.
Ooh, that's perfect. Maybe we can follow them and see where they go.
They're traveling west.
The way that we were coming from. So they're heading towards the boat.
Yes, they would be heading back towards the boat.
Hey, these two Brotherhood guys are walking down the beach patrolling or something. They're heading in the direction of the boat. We could get around them because they don't see us, but if they find that boat, that could tip them off that we're here.
Well, what's two more deaths?
Yes, among so many.
How do we want to handle this? I'm not going to bark orders because I'm in no position.
Can we try reasoning with them?
No. That's not going to work with them. Their orders, they're not making their own decisions. They're following orders.
And is there anything about them that give you a clue as to whether they're lackey or ranking?
They have pretty standard attire. It's foggy. It's hard to tell. But they look, not any higher than the two that we took out on the boat. They don't send out the high-ranking people on patrols.
I pick up my bow.
Ooh. And
I take my crossbow out.
Oh boy,
Following her lead.
Are we gonna try and sneak attack here?
Well, we have the high ground. So by Obi-Wan logic, we win by default.
I mean, I guess
we're on
this is
equal
technically...
ground. They just don't know we're here.
It is slightly high ground.
So this feels like an opportunity to do some sniping.
It's true. That's true. All right. Well,
and we have the advantage of fog, and presumably we're closer to the vegetation, and they're on the beach.
Wait a minute. We're just gonna run in here and start killing people?
Classic murder.
These are the people who murdered the whole ship full of people. These are legitimately the bad guys.
I mean, not these people specifically. We're just gonna run around just killing people?
I mean, you want to go try and talk to them?
I mean, maybe we see what they do first. I mean, they may not even find the boat. It was hidden, and then we can follow them back to wherever they're going.
They might not find the rowboat, but they might notice the larger boat that we've abandoned. Sure.
Well, they can't see it from the shore.
Yeah. The distance you had to row to get to shore, the fog was way too thick to see the shore from the boat, and should be vice versa.
I think that if we kill these people, we're not going to get any information. Maybe we try following them a little.
Or we could just take one of them alive.
I mean, we could follow them and see if they pass the boat. At least to know, because if they start finding it and clearly getting distressed, we can jump in.
Yes. I think this is a good opportunity to gather information from them, as opposed to just being like, okay, now there's two dead bodies and we don't have any idea where to go still.
Okay. Yeah.
Irene starts looking through her pouches to see if she has what she would need to make a truth serum for an interrogation.
Ooh, truth serum sounds like that'd be fairly in-depth.
How quite as complicated as you'd think. But
let's say we'll try it when we get when we get to that point.
Yeah. It's just brainstorming.
Yeah.
Checking her notes.
Well, we're following these guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Stalky, Glane takes
all
the
right.
lead.
Yeah, here's the thing. Is it Glane specifically that's going to be doing the tailing on his own, or
I think Glane should take the lead, and Torgan and I should probably follow a little bit further back to to cover him.
yeah, because you
To be
don't want
his
to
backup.
get too close or anything. So next
Boy, if those two
question-
guys only knew that I saved their lives just now.
You kind of did, didn't you? Do you want to follow from... You still have the opportunity of getting up onto the cliffs from where you are and following from above, or you can
That's what I
follow
was
along
thinking.
gravel.
I was thinking about scrambling to the edge and kind of moving along where Torgan and Serene can still see me. And so that I can make easy gestures to them, like what I think we should do,
Right.
instead of being on equal ground with them and just in front of them. Because if they're following me, that means that I'm behind them and then they're way behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I can scramble up to the edge and just kind of walk along
All right. So this
at a safe
is
distance.
it's not a freebie. It is a little bit dangerous. So this will be. Let's see here.
Anybody boost me up like Torgan with a shield to kind of like
Oh yeah,
Assist.
Torgan could aid you by securing an advantage.
do like a Wolverine Colossus maneuver.
Oh yeah. So this is kind of a raw strength from Torgan. So that would be an Iron Roll 2 to see if he can manage to boost you up. Exactly.
So this is mine.
Yes, Iron Roll 2 from
Okay.
Torgan.
Now, do I get anything for my loyalist ability?
Let's see.
Since I'm
Assets,
aiding an ally.
loyalist. When you aid your ally, add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. You totally do. Iron Roll 3.
Okay.
Good call out.
I already said that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you said it too, because he missed it when I said it.
It must have been voice meter muted for a second.
Yeah.
The stream is going through a tunnel. Okay, a weak
you.
hit. If nothing else, that's +1 momentum. Ooh, yeah, man. So, +1 momentum, and you get an additional +1 momentum because it was a hit, bringing Torgan back up to 4 momentum. That's something.
Ooh.
So this is a short-lived advantage. Torgan kind of does a little bit of repeat of what he did with Serene, sort of using his shield and kind of bracing himself to act as a sort of platform. So Glane is able to kind of get up on that, balance himself, and then immediately he has a good 6-foot head start on the cliffs, with a little bit of a gentle hop up to the first sets of rocks. He has very little distance to cover. So let's see if he can get up there. Let's see. This is a roll of precision or strength. I feel like this is strength, which is not Glane's strong suit. Iron Roll 1.
So
At
that'd
least
be
you
a
got-
2 with his bonus.
You did not get a bonus, unfortunately.
Okay, so just a straight 1.
Oh, actually, speaking of, that momentum, that +1 momentum, that actually goes to Glane instead of Torgan. Because you were aiding him, so he gets the benefit, but Torgan gets the +1 for using Loyalist.
That's fine.
Yeah, you share the wealth.
Sure, yeah.
Share the wealth. Okay, alright. A weak hit means you do succeed, but there is a troublesome cost there. Let's see here. Let's go 50-50 between harm and momentum. 51 or above, and it's the endure harm. Oh. Well.
Oh.
On the dot. Okay.
You got yourself on a rock that was a little sharper than you thought.
So Glane needs to now roll iron roll 4. Whoops, I just changed. No, I didn't. Iron roll 4 to endure harm. So he's sort of scrambling up. One of the rocks is a little bit loose, gives way a bit, and he sort of kind of scratches up his arm. Gets a little bit of a deep cut as he's making his way up. The adrenaline is coursing, though. He doesn't pay it any mind, and he does manage to get up onto the cliffside. But he's a little bit hurt. So let's get that iron roll 4. Okay, weak hit, no additional effects. All right, so Glane is up on the cliff. He's got a great vantage point here, where he can sort of watch from a safe height these two members of the Brotherhood walking along the shoreline.
Can I hear if they're talking or anything like that?
Let's see. First, you'll get a little bit closer. The shores, the waves crashing against are pretty loud, so you're gonna have to get pretty close to actually determine if they're saying anything and what they're saying. If you want to eavesdrop, you can't see if they are or not. They have cloaks drawn.
I will be happy with just being able to watch them and not have to listen to them. If I try and get closer, I'm going to give myself away.
All right, so keeping distance. All right.
Hey, Torgan, can you alley-oop me up there too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Is Torgan going up there as well?
You know what? I don't think I can make it. I'm not very agile, and
Well, if
I'm
you can
also
You'll get it.
I'm encumbered.
Well,
you
if
can-
you help me up there, I'll toss down a rope for you.
Yeah,
I imagine if anything happens, we're going to take a couple of shots of arrows and jump down to fight. So
mechanically,
Yeah, I think I'll just stay on the floor.
Mechanically speaking, you guys succeed and fail as a team. The fact that Glane was able to get up means kind of you all can technically get up. You don't have to re-roll or anything. So if you want to get up, and your concern is just the possibility of falling down again, it's a freebie. It's a freebie to get up there.
I hurt my hand, so you don't have to.
Exactly. If you want to.
I'll still just stay on the ground.
Okay. All right. Torgan's staying down below. He's got that heavy armor. Glane and Serene following closely behind from above, but not so close as to be within earshot. So tailing the two, you spot the area down below where where the boat is stashed, and peering over the edge, you watch them, and it looks like they go right past it. They didn't see a thing.
Good.
Well, that's good, but I mean, at some point, these guys are going to need to go by some point of interest. They know their way around the island. Should we keep following them?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so now that the gulf, just to kind of paint this picture a bit, is maybe about 30 feet cliff height. So Torgan, you are very far away from the team, even staying as close as possible. Just keep that in mind, that there's a long gulf there between you and the rest of the party. All right, so we're gonna follow along from a distance, but not so close as to be spotted. Now
I'm also making regular looks over to the right, just to make sure that we're not so fixed on them that we're running by some other encampment or,
of course,
being aware of other things on the island.
yeah, keeping an eye out. So let's see here. Would this be... Okay. So you continue following along, keeping an eye out, and trailing along with these two. They continue walking along the shoreline. Eventually, you get to a point where you can actually see a little bit of something over the tops of the cliffs there. Now, at this point, the shoreline stretches out very wide, similar to how it did back at the caves, where you were making camp. And so the cliffside is going to kind of jut inland pretty heavily, but it does give you a very wide vantage point where you can kind of look out a greater distance. You're still limited by the fog, but the thick vegetation up here clears out, and you can see down in the direction they're heading. As soon as you sort of get past this next row of trees, where the cliffside abruptly, almost too abruptly, Serene sort of grabs Glane by the neck of his cloak before he gets too far over the edge. You can see that there are several beached ships in this area. Not just 3 or 4, but we're talking perhaps dozens of very large ships on the order of magnitude of, say, the Dominion that you traveled in on. They are in various stages of decomposition. The wood rotting in places. Several of the ships crashed up against each other. And the crow's nests of each sort of jutting out like spokes of a broken wheel. Just these massive points in all directions, jagged and random. And somewhere in the center of all of this mess, there is a sort of wooden building constructed from mishmashes of different wood. It looks like the surrounding ships have been sort of picked for different parts that have gone into the construction of this sort of conglomeration, this strange seaside fortress.
We're gonna have to remember this place when we try to find a way out of here.
I don't think these boats work anymore.
Yeah, but maybe we can find pieces to make one if we need to.
What are the 2 guys that we followed in here? Like, where do they head to?
It looks like they pass by this ship fortress, but they give a sort of gesture, just a very just tall salute / wave towards the fortress. Casting your gaze over, you see there is someone on what at first looked like just another broken, splintering pole from one ship, but upon further inspection, it is actually a fully formed wooden tower with someone standing atop, who returns the wave before just resuming, just sort of watching out, guarding the area.
I look down to Torgen and I give him a stop before he walks any more closer to that tower.
I think Torgen will have been keeping a close eye on you guys, maybe keeping a bit more distance from the Brotherhood members than you are, which gives him enough time to sort of detect that signal and appropriately stop.
Dorian's gonna notice that Glaine's arm is bleeding profusely, and kind of tap him on the shoulder and motion for him to look at his arm, and she pulls out some bandages and sees if she can patch him up real quick.
Okay. That'll be a heal maneuver.
Mm-hmm. Last time we rolled that, I believe I had a 6.
Let's see here. So, with all of your various assets, because you are an herbalist, you can choose to add +2. Let's see, and then I think that's maybe everything, right? Is there something else to that?
What?
There may have been some temporary bonus at play last time, maybe
Yeah.
a secure an advantage or something. So in this case, though, you do have
It'll be a 5.
a +5, yeah.
Okay.
Still a very good roll.
I roll 5.
Almost practically impossible to fail.
What could go wrong?
Okay, look at that. Easy, no problem.
And
Strong hit, so the ally does get up to 2 health. That puts Glane back to 5. And in addition, because of your Herbalist 2 ability, when you heal a companion and score a hit, take +1 spirit or momentum. So what's it going to be? Momentum?
absolutely momentum.
Okay. You've got it.
Anything below an 8 is unacceptable.
That's true. It's practically
So
useless.
as she wraps the bandage around my arm, I would say, like, I don't think we're going to be able to continue tailing these guys without that guy noticing, unless we take a really long way around.
Yeah,
So
I
we
think-
either need to handle him, find a way around, or abandon following these guys.
I think we found at least an intermediate what we're looking for.
Found
I
something.
want to
think-
see what's in there.
I think we also learned that if we had killed these guys, that guy might have been expecting to see them on their normal route. So we need to be careful who we displace around here.
Fair.
And you just wanted to kill him.
Quite you. I think this might be a time to just start heading more inland, away from the beach, where there clearly is some kind of presence of lookout.
I think it's time that I've been alone enough. I want to rejoin them.
Okay.
I'm concerned that there might be people around and I don't want to be alone.
That's probably a good call. Are you all going to head back towards the caves first for a easier climb?
I think there are enough trees up here. I think we can toss a rope down to Torgan.
Okay. Tossing a rope down. Let's that'll be secure an advantage. So let's see here. This is I can give this as wits of just very careful knot tying abilities, expertise.
And we'll brace the rope so that he can climb up.
Exactly.
Well,
Because he is encumbered.
but also, you know, I made the lasso. I'm probably pretty good at ropes too, in case something goes wrong.
Yeah. All right, here we go. So,
Oh, and it's a match, so something special gets to happen.
So here's the first thing: is that this is made kind of on Torgan's behalf. So Torgan gets the benefit of the strong hit. He can either make his
Ooh.
next roll at a +1, or take 2 momentum.
Ooh.
The next
What
move
is my
is going.
next move
It is
gonna
going to
be?
be face danger. Probably with iron, which you've got an iron roll 2 on.
Oh,
You're also only at 3 momentum.
I mean, I feel like it's 6 of 1 at this point, so I'll take the 2. I'll take the
Okay.
2 momentum.
All right. So let's see an iron roll 2 for Torgan getting up onto this cliffside here. This is going to be quite a climb. So Day and Serene and Glane lower the rope down.
Yay!
Getting a nice knot. Oh, beautifully done. And if memory serves, I think you get a bonus On a strong hit for... Oh, wait, that's secure. That's the one that was just up. Face danger. You get to take an additional 1 momentum. I think you made the right call on taking the 2 after all.
That was, yeah.
Lucky triple sixes.
Very lucky. Now, the match. So you guys are working on getting the knot tied. And as you do, you notice this little area up here where you've got kind of a nice view of the of this fortress, this ship fortress. It looks like a small area has been there's a sort of man-made clearing in this area. You didn't really notice it as much before, but it looks like someone has sort of cleared out the brush in this area specifically for staying here and observing the fortress. It is an excellent vantage point, but just kind of taking a moment after getting Torgon up here, Serene sort of investigates and notices, yeah, this area right here, these large leaves have been placed specifically as kind of cover to block anyone from the fortress from getting a clear view of this area. Someone has been
the elves that
watching
live
the fortress
on this island have been keeping an eye on this place?
I'd lay odds that that's probably what's happening. If not the elves, then maybe some of the other inhabitants that we may be in search of. What's the magic like here?
Disorienting is the flavor. It's a very pervasive feeling in the atmosphere that anytime you try and kind of take a look at the ambient magic, in a sense, it's a sort of dizzying feeling. Not one of the sort of overpowering feeling of being close to the mana spring as you felt in the Deepwood. There is a sort of feeling of powerful magic, but it feels more distant, as if it's a ways off. Perhaps not even on this particular island, knowing that this is a full archipelago here. But the just sort of the background noise is a constant static that sort of clouds your sensation.
If this area is like a safe haven for someone, can Serene or any of us pick up on maybe like a ideal path that someone takes to access this place on a regular basis?
Let's see. Yeah, let's say let's follow a track. That'll be a gather information roll here. You are going to follow a track, so rolling wits.
Okay. One moment, I have to get the cat off the keyboard.
Serene being the tracker. Oh, weak hit. Something that complicates your quest.
Well, the
Or
trail's not very
introduces-
fresh.
Introduces a new danger. Let's roll a quick prompt here, just to kind of charge duty. Okay. I actually have some ideas here. Nice GQ. All right. So, all right, you begin following the path. It sort of narrowly keeps just out of sight of this fortress, as if someone has been taking the same path multiple times, keeping clear of known sight lines to this fortress. Let's see. Now you do okay. So this has to be that you do find information, but complicates or introduces a new danger. So
Maybe there's critters also on this path.
I think that's very likely. The thing is, I don't want to keep reusing critters. And we've fought many a critter already.
Been a while since we fought a wolf.
That's true. No, I think
And it would be logical.
it would.
Although
be.
it is an archipelago.
Yeah, I don't know if there's wolves here.
You know what? You know what's really popular on archipelagos and such?
What's that?
Turtles.
That's a great point. Turtles are in. Turtles are in.
But I don't want to fight a turtle. Turtle soup does not need to be what's on the menu for dinner.
I'm okay with it.
No, see, I figured out from the prompt what you guys are going to eventually find. But I need to figure out what the, oh, here we go. Deflect resource. Okay. Resource. All right, the trail becomes, interrupted. Deflect resource. Yes, thank you, GQ. The trail is interrupted. An obstacle. Let's see exactly how does this happen though. The path sort of falls down a bit of a lowland on the island as you get further inland and away from the cliffs. Starts to get into sort of a more marshy region. As such, the actual trail sort of disappears into the wetlands a bit. Standing water, muddy terrain. The muddy terrain should make it easier to follow a trail, but it seems that there's been perhaps maybe recent storms or something, because any sign of the trail is just this absolute mess of muddiness here. So now here's the thing: you do get some information here, but it's been complicated. I think that you can see just the faintest hint of just some wisps of smoke in the distance, perhaps a campfire. But it is across this very thick marsh. So the exact path that whoever you're tailing would take is uncertain. You kind of at least have the information of their general area up ahead. So now you find yourself at the edge of this very foggy marshland.
About what time of day is it?
Still morning.
Okay. So she points out everything to Morgan and Glean and kind of takes a poll on what next actions should be. Do we want to try and cross the marsh? Do we want to kind of wait here and catch somebody on their way by? Do we want to do something else?
Is there a way we can try to cross and be a little bit more sure-footed as we go through? Like, find some kind of pole and, like, trot ahead, or maybe find some stones nearby to try to, like, make a path without just fording something we might sink into, especially Torgan with his heavy armor.
Maybe I need to do a gather information check. What kind of, like, let's get a little bit more details on terrain for the marsh. Is this a freshwater marsh? Is this a saltwater marsh? Are we looking at what kind of wildlife are we looking at? Am I seeing signs of like probably not alligators, but
No, this would
Who
likely
knows?
be freshwater. And
are we reasonably far inland?
yes.
Okay.
And as far as wildlife, perhaps the occasional noticeable footprints in some of the drier mud of large rats that have been running around in the marsh. But nothing heavily dangerous, such as gators.
Are we about to have to drop a whole bunch of Princess Bride references?
Absolutely.
I've never seen that.
Rodents of unusual size. Okay. So it's probably reasonably safe
There
to try and cross.
Hopefully, but no guarantees.
We're probably not going to get eaten.
I mean, there's always a chance.
I mean, but
Your chance
I
may
don't
be
see
low,
any
but it's never
signs
zero.
I don't
Never
see
zero.
anything that looks. I don't see any signs of anything that looks big enough to eat us.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Should probably head across in order of our like lightness. Make sure that a light person can get across before someone who's carrying more. Take up the rear.
All right.
Which would put Torgan on the back end, and rock, paper, scissors for whether Glaine or Serene goes first.
I should go first because if I do start to sink in, Serene can hand me her bow and try to like pull me out of it. I don't really have much in terms of long things like that I can hand to somebody.
True. All right. So Glaine's gonna take point in the front, sloshing
You're
through
really-
the at least at first ankle deep.
I really want to see GQ have to dagger wrestle an alligator now.
Let me get an iron roll 2 from Glaine. A weak hit. Okay. All right. I think this is probably just going to be a momentum loss then, as you guys enter the swamplands. So this area is very difficult to traverse. The depth is very inconsistent. The bottom is a thick, muddy texture that sort of sucks your boot on, and it tries to, really prevent any forward movement. But slowly but surely, you make progress. And get through the swampland undisturbed. No crazy monsters jumping out at you or anything like that. No alligators.
Are we able to pick up the trail again when we get across the way, or are we
Yes.
just going to focus on the smoke?
Well, that kind of presumably is the trail. Now that you are on the other side, you're fairly close to the source of this little campfire smoke that you see. It looks like a small campsite up ahead, decently maintained, and someone has been living here. This is not some sort of abandoned fire. This is someone has been living here. Maybe still is here right now.
And the Brotherhood would never advertise their position, so obviously.
Yeah.
Maybe they're friends.
Yeah, that's probably right. Proceed.
I'm not dressed like the Brotherhood right now, so I'm wearing a different cloak.
Yeah.
So hopefully
Yeah.
they don't... Yeah.
I'm dressed like an elf, so
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Okay. All right, moving in, you find that there is sort of a kind of a wooden lean-to of sorts, slightly offset from the ground, keeping it dry. The fire has a little bit of meat over it, and you see there is a sort of hunched figure kind of in the lean-to who, upon seeing you, hops to their feet and sort of grabs a knife, but then sort of takes a moment to kind of determine who you are, and upon seeing that you're not part of the Brotherhood, because they're very big on shadowy, dark cloaks, is a little bit calmer about your presence, but still maybe a bit suspicious.
It was a friend.
Yeah. And who is this? Amara. Okay, Amara.
Kind of put my hand on Torgen's back. You're the friendliest one here.
That's true.
well, first off, are they human?
Yes, definitely human.
Okay.
I'm leaning towards this is a woman. Clothes are a bit old. Not a lot of changes of clothes out here. You can see lots of patchwork in places where tears have been repaired over time. But it's she looks a little bit rough, like she's been living out here for a while. Just kind of scraping by. Who are you?
I'm not sure what am I trying to convince this person to do something, or am I just trying to make friends?
Well, first step one is convince her she doesn't need to actively be trying to stab us.
Oh, okay.
Step two is let's have a conversation and find out who she is.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. All right. Hello, we are some friendly travelers who have shipwrecked on this island. Friendly. What's your name?
Amara.
Oh, hello. I am Torgen, and this is Glenn, and this is Serene. And we are trying to find a friend of ours.
Friend of yours like black cloaks,
No, I don't think he has a black cloak. I think he's wearing a purple sock on his head, and often seen carrying a wooden spoon. Have you seen them?
This is a bit of a Hail Mary maneuver right here.
Serene's just looking at Torgen like he's stupid. Is this some kind of test to see if she's crazy?
I can't tell her what we're really up to.
Up to so many things, you can't tell her one.
I don't know what we're actually up to.
Why are we here again?
Serene kind of takes a step forward. Is like, how long have you been here?
Seven months.
It must be fun working for the Brotherhood.
That's a good way to just really get onto someone's good side.
Well, she's either going to respond she isn't for them, or she's going to be like, yeah, it is fun, great benefits, company
She's
picnic.
obviously been watching them and not
Yeah,
and avoiding them.
Torgan has kind of gotten enough clues that this person is trying to stay away from the Brotherhood in some way. It does not seem to be a part of their organization.
Okay.
Maybe ask if we can sit down and talk.
Yeah, so that looks like some good food you got there. And we've been traveling all day. Would you be interested in sharing some of your food or letting us cook some of ours over your fire?
She does. Her eyes do kind of turn to your heavy packs upon hearing that you have some of your food. The prospect of any kind of different food than whatever she's been catching and eating is apparently very alluring. She agrees to your terms.
Do you like bacon? Because I've got some bacon here.
You've got some bacon.
Very good.
She'll have some bacon.
Great. That makes us friends.
Yes, immediately friends. So you decide to sit and share a meal with Amara, who, true to her word, does share some of whatever meat she's cooking. And she hungrily digs in to the dried items you have. And you get a little bit of a chance to talk with her, learn a little bit about what she's doing here. She was a sailor who, months ago, her ship met a similar fate. A sort of planned from the start mutiny by Brotherhood members in disguise, who killed or tossed overboard all of the true crew and claimed the ship as their own. And that was 7 months ago, and she washed up on shore alive and has been surviving since.
Do we remember, or did we ever get told when Captain Barnes was last here?
Let's see here.
I was under the impression it had been many years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I hope she didn't like Captain Barnes.
So she wasn't here when that happened?
No, she wasn't.
She might have
part
sailed with him before, though. She might know him. Or of him.
It's a possibility.
He's going to want to know how we got here.
Maybe we don't mention that there's a ship full of dead people that we just happened to walk off of.
Not full of dead people. We threw them all off the ship.
Fair enough.
Yeah, okay.
Suspicious either way.
It is. All right, but yeah, you share enough of your story to at least let her know that you're kind of in similar shoes.
We were on board a ship. We had booked passage. We were sailing here. So we can use Serene as a scholar. We were hired by the captain of the ship to try and, since we're adventurers, to try and find something, but the Brotherhood killed them before he told us what we were looking for. So now we're just kind of sitting here and stuck and stranded. And Serene did keep the spyglass, so she does have that on her.
That's handy.
But there hasn't been occasion to use it.
Right.
But if this person does know Captain Barnes,
Mm-hmm.
it does have some engravings on it and could possibly be recognizable. as having belonged to him.
Right. I mean, do you want to broach that subject?
She's not going to point it out specifically, but she's not actively hiding it either. It's just on her belt. She's kind of waiting to see if she notices.
Doesn't seem to have paid any notice.
Interesting.
I saw that you had a camp set up right outside the ship graveyard. What have you been able to learn about the Brotherhood in your time here?
They do the same thing to every ship they can. They get all the crew killed, thrown overboard, and then they strip it, or they ram it into that massive behemoth they call a fortress. That's not their only base of operations on this island. It's not the only one.
Do you have any idea what their goal is?
Well, if they steal enough ships, that's worth a fortune in the goods they've got. Beyond that, I can't say. They've got several full working ships still. The ones you see crashed up there on shore are just the ones they don't want to bother repairing. Waste not, whatnot.
Serene thinks carefully. All of the ships definitely looked human, like human ships.
Mm-hmm.
Means they may or may not know about the elven trade routes on the other side of the archipelago.
Perhaps not. Yeah, that's on the northeast side and coming from the closer port from where Serene hails. Presumably going somewhere
There's
else.
another continent. There's
Yeah.
another continent. The archipelago's kind of between them, and the trade routes kind of go around the side of the continent.
Right.
Kind of looping around, like Cape of Good Hope up to Jonestown and back.
Yeah, the idea being that this sort of pit stop that Serene has mentioned, maybe the Brotherhood doesn't even know about it.
Have you seen anyone else since you've been here, other than the Brotherhood and, I guess us now?
Just the bodies that wash up on shore, and the ones that walk up. Those are the worst.
Walk?
If you see anyone walking out of the water, you want to keep your distance. Some of the sailors that have met their watery end don't even know they're dead yet.
Wow.
Lovely.
Most of them stay near the eastern side. Just past the next fortress over. They've got one in the coves. That's where they keep all the good ships.
So you've been here for 7 months. What is your plan?
Plan?
Yeah, are you?
I'm just trying not to
getting off here?
die.
There is strong magic here. I don't know that it's strong enough to reanimate the dead. That seems disturbing.
Are we sure she's alive?
I mean, I can offer to, she's obviously been here on her own for a while. She's a bit beat up. I can offer to attempt medical care.
She's also eating food. She was eating food before we got here.
Yeah, but I mean,
Usually,
Yeah.
she doesn't know she's dead. I mean,
I feel like she's probably not a zombie. Like, we would have noticed.
Yeah.
Okay, I just make it. Listen, I'm just trying to feel this woman out. Okay,
No, that's fair.
I don't trust nothing.
Out. I'm glad.
So is Serene gonna try to heal her, or is that something that needs to be done?
She doesn't appear wounded.
Okay.
I kind of
Maybe-
turn to the rest of the group, kind of like maybe out of earshot of her, out of Amara. Like, I know we kind of have a full dance card, but if she's alive when we're leaving, we might want to see if we can get her out of here.
She's a sailor. I kind of know my way around ships, but it'd be nice to have a real sailor. It would drastically increase our odds of getting out of here alive.
Maybe we just
Yeah.
remember where she is and come back for her. I don't think we should take her into danger. She already seems
No, I
kind
don't
of.
want to get our hopes up. She's holed up here, but if we can make our way back here before we head out.
Yeah,
Maybe
she
we
seems,
set this up as our base of operations, and we kind of... She's our appointed spy.
she seems to have the sea
Hmm.
madness. We don't even know if there really are dead bodies walking around.
Well, I did see somebody in the cove.
Didn't tell us.
Oh,
I mentioned it when I got back, when we were making camp.
oh well.
Yeah, pay
Between
attention.
the pages.
Should we rest here tonight?
Is she okay with that?
Let's see. Let's give it a 50-50. 51 or above, and she's cool. Yeah, sure. You can stay. All right. Yeah. Fine.
She's interested in, seeing other people.
Yeah.
I
And
can't
I miss-
sojourn with one person, can I?
No. You need an established community.
Dang it.
You are still shaken after your experience of the entire crew being killed as a direct result of your decisions.
All the coconuts that she's drawn faces on don't count as a community.
Yeah.
Well, he might feel a little bit better knowing that they've done this to a lot of ships, and it wasn't just because he was there.
Perhaps
Like,
so.
they've
Maybe
been-
there's some peace there.
Serene feels a little better about it, at least.
Yeah.
And I didn't...
We just got
Did
caught
it-
up in a Ponzi scheme.
Well, I guess that's one way of looking at it.
Speaking of peace, maybe Serene should tell a tale or something to kind of chill this woman out while we make camp.
We could use my make camp abilities and do something like that.
Well, she does not have a track for health, spirit, or supply because she's an NPC.
Well, I just thought- I just thought it'd make her feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a...
That's
It's more
true.
for us than anything.
Yeah,
It's
you
more
can
of a
still take
narrative
the bonus.
feature. It's a narrative feature.
Exactly.
We want to establish goodwill, and
Plus, she seems crazy.
Just a touch of sea madness.
possibly...
All right, are we gonna make camp?
Yes.
Okay. Then someone roll iron roll 4.
Now, does Day have to? Does Serene have to do it for the Story Weaver, or just?
No, the make camp roll is just anybody, because it's just using the
okay.
supply value.
Oh well, I'll do it.
Oh, sorry, I just did it.
Oh no, you do it.
I
That's-
got it. I nailed it.
just as
Don't
good.
worry.
Nailed it barely
Yes.
by 1. It was a close one. All right. So for make camp, you have the usual options. Now, the Story Weaver ability that Serene has specifies that when Serene chooses to use the Relax option, which is a +1 spirit, she can take an additional +1 spirit or +1 momentum. Actually, anybody who does the Relax option to get +1 spirit gets to choose to also take an additional spirit or momentum.
So I will be taking a spirit and related momentum.
All right.
I do feel a little bit better knowing that, the fate of our ship wasn't because of us,
Right.
specifically.
Torgan, will you do the same?
Yes, please.
Blaine doesn't get the spirit, but he could still take the momentum.
Yes, he could still relax and take +1 momentum. And then that doesn't count as the focus move, because you all each have one additional bonus because of the strong hit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want, you can still take one additional momentum.
I want one additional momentum.
So like an additional momentum.
And Glane probably does as well, because he doesn't have any other option.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Okay,
you guys have momentum
yeah.
again. Now we're talking.
What could go wrong now?
Nothing. It's physically impossible. So what is the plan from here? You've learned a little bit. You've learned that there are functioning ships kind of hidden within some of the coves on the island. Amara seems to know where they are and a lot of information about the area.
Is this the only island she's been on? Has she tried to make it to any of the others?
This is the only one she's been on. She has done some eavesdropping from the cliffside, and has gathered a little bit of information about the surrounding areas. It is definitely too far to swim, first of all. You would need a ship to get there. But she believes she knows enough about the region that she should at least be able to get towards a different island. She has some other information that she's not quite willing to spill yet.
We're still establishing trust.
Exactly.
See, I thought so. See.
Well, we do have a rowboat, but that's kind of small.
Yeah. Probably not great for crossing to the neighboring islands.
Possibly a little bit small, although islands and archipelagos do tend to be pretty close together.
That's true. But we're still talking miles of sea.
So I would like to take a moment to just maybe focus here for a moment. That's what I'd like to do. What is our goal right now?
Originally, the goal was basically just sail to the island that has the elves and the centaurs, and follow up on the various main overarching quests. Serene trying to learn more about her tribe, and Torgan still investigating this whole long and sprawling chain of events about the centaurs and the secrets thereof.
You're also coming here because of some kind of magical well that the elves can lead us to.
So the question that I have with all that is, how do we know we're going the right way?
We don't yet.
Yeah, all you really know for
Serene's
sure
fairly
is the shroud is where the mana spring is. And you receive that information from the elves in the Deepwood.
Serene can tell you that the main mana pool is not on this island, so we're going to have to explore more of the archipelago.
Okay. So we're just exploring right now.
We are exploring, looking for elves and or centaurs.
And avoiding the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yes.
And looking for Captain Barnes' treasure.
That's a nice...
And
would be good.
And an eagle.
Along the way.
Yeah.
We're keeping an eye out for clues on
Yes.
Yes. On that, I signal to Amara and ask her, this belonged to a friend of ours, and I wanted to know if you'd ever seen it before, and I pull out the locket and hold it up.
You know what? I was about to roll for it, but I think it's more interesting if she does. She's been 7 months without normal human contact, so her social interaction is not great. But she still has there's a moment of like, oh, you've got that belongs to old Barnes. I know that.
How do you know him?
You show that off at the Wolfport.
Oh,
Yeah. So, you know how you mentioned that the Brotherhood liked to kill people and throw them overboard?
Just rip the bandage off. Just rip it off.
I wasn't going to reveal that yet. I'm trying to figure out how she knows him. Like, this could be like his daughter, his
Oh no.
This could
ex,
be-
his
Oh.
wife.
She is the missing treasure.
yeah, she could
Yeah.
be the treasure.
No.
He could be the treasure. That's what I was
That's
thinking.
too
actually.
sad.
That's too sad. You killed a ship full of people.
I didn't do that. I rolled a
That's
50-50.
That's too sad.
God. I knew it.
Oof.
Get Hovercat in here. She has to see how sad this is.
No.
How is this? This is a 100th sad. 100th
It's too
of the
sad to
sadness.
not be the answer.
So Serene just kind of looks at the boys and looks back at her, and she's like, "Yeah, it was," with emphasis on the was, and just kind of waits to see what happens.
Yeah, there's a dawning realization, and a slow, resigned acceptance. It's been months since she's had to deal with the loss of the entire crew she sailed with, and now sort of feeling that sense of loss again. It's not an easy thing to accept. She never sailed with Captain Barnes, but respected him as a fantastic captain. He was renowned for his abilities, a local legend. But there is some peace there in knowing at least he died at sea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's just someone who knows about him.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's not directly related to him in some way.
Yeah.
Dobbs can't handle that.
No.
Okay. We're kind of here on his behalf. There was something on this island that's very important to him. Or would you be aware of anything that, like, plagued him that he would have wanted to come back here for?
Did she happen to know any of the stories? He hired us to come find something here that he had lost on his previous visit. And, makes you feel any better we killed the Brotherhood members that killed him?
Yes, if it makes you feel any better, we're murderers.
Oh, good.
Killing
More
the
bacon.
Brotherhood... I'm pretty sure she's good with the Brotherhood people not being... Like, they murdered her entire crew.
Right.
Like, she's not gonna be sad that the people who murdered a whole ship worth of people got what was coming to them.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. Remember that, Dobbs.
I'm gonna say she does know what you're talking about, but she doesn't want you to know that she knows. She's still not super trustworthy of you. She met you just yesterday, and you gave her some food. That's about it. But
She knows we're in about the same situation as her, so there should be some opportunity for a sense of camaraderie there in time.
If we can trust her.
Yes.
As we check off some of the boxes we're here to do, we might unlock more with her.
Yeah, she's not super on board with revealing too much information right now. She's sort of remembering herself, after having a chance to talk with other human beings for a bit, and remembering that, you know what, you don't have to reveal everything right off the bat.
Yeah.
Not everyone can be trusted. Sometimes they're going to kill everyone you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all learned that lesson pretty acutely very recently.
Yeah. So
So
there you go.
question, do we tell her that the Dominion is still afloat?
There's no way she'd be able to find it without us. So to know that it's here wouldn't let her steal it all by herself.
Right, which would create her needing us. And frankly, if we want to get out of here alive into any other island on a boat, we need her.
So are we inviting her along?
I think we're going to set up the situation, pose the situation as a, we don't know you, you don't know us, but if any of us want to get out of here alive, we kind of need each other.
Yeah.
Kind of scenario.
Okay.
Because the long and short of it, that's kind of where we're at.
Okay. Yes, but she's not leaving without Barnes's treasure.
What?
We can't leave without the treasure either.
Perfect.
We swore an iron vow.
Wait a minute.
Unless I've sojourned by then I might be cool with it. But
Wait.
I'm not about to break a vow. I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Why? How does she know about Barnes' treasure?
You just told her about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You told her we're here to find his treasure. Do you know what it is?
now she's got she's made a vow.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah, I guess
she just has
as much of a vow.
She has
as
a vested interest.
Yeah, as much a vow as a non-iron sworn can make. But yeah,
She's made an ultimatum. She's stated her conditions.
yeah.
She's given us those conditions, and I think we've maybe gotten one tick on the reclaim the treasure track.
I think more than one at this point.
Somebody who knows what it is.
Yeah, I think that puts you at 2. And Journey is
we're alive.
Yeah, I think you are well on your way of reclaiming the treasure of Captain Barnes. She's very evasive on exactly what it is, but she knows where it is.
Ooh.
You know?
That is
I'm not super, the dude's dead. I'm not super invested in it. We said we would find it. As long as we find it, we have fulfilled our duties to the dead guy.
That's right. I mean, you are still bound by that iron vow. There is a certain magic all its own that the Iron Sworn bow to. The promise and the vow is a unbreakable bond.
I don't want to be nitpicky about this, but I mean, if this woman knows where it is, then we've found it. So we have fulfilled, right?
You have to reclaim the treasure of Captain Barnes to fulfill that.
Oh, okay. Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Read the fine print.
Mm-hmm.
We have to literally lay eyes on it, touch it, and be like, claimed.
We have to hold it
then
over our
she can
head. The
have
song, little song plays.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, we have
Exactly.
to have the link moment, and what happens after that? Not my problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
We just need to arrive at we need to achieve our link moment.
That's right. You just gotta get there.
So you've been
Okay.
watching that encampment by the boat yard. How many people are usually there, other than the patrols that go by? I know about the guy in the crow's nest in the tower, but are there people actually in the ships? I saw like an area, like
Not
are they like pulled up in there, or is that just a watchtower?
mostly a watchtower, a sort of lighthouse of sorts at night. They just use that to guide in all of the leftover ships they don't really care for.
Okay, that's not so much of a point of interest then. It's just a lookout tower.
No. They've got Barnes' treasure, though. At the cove.
Ooh.
Oh. Like at that pirate. She just told us where it is. She didn't want to tell us where it was.
She didn't want to tell you that she knew what it was. She's okay with telling where it is. But
Good.
initially she didn't really want to reveal that she knew that she knew of it. But
As the
knowing that there's
situation
a
has
chance off the
evolved,
island. Yeah, the situation has changed. But yes.
we've sweetened the deal.
Afraid that
Exactly.
it doesn't change further.
Side question, outside of the game question.
Mm-hmm.
Dobbs, have you decided what it is? Do you
Turtle,
know
I don't
what
think
it
that's
is?
entirely relevant right now.
Well, see, because I think that I would like to use a compelling move, maybe to tell us what it is.
Ah, I see.
Like a threaten?
No,
a
not
heart
threat.
compelling. Heart
Yeah.
compelling.
Attempt
Organ's
to
the one
persuade
who-
someone.
Organ's the one who drank with him and like did the hand over your heart, drew the little X promise thing.
Yeah,
Like he's emotionally invested.
yeah. I asked him if his legs were hurting from running through my mind all day, and
I remember that.
so I'm interested in knowing what this is, and
And you'll find
would be-
out when you get it.
No.
Okay. Very well. You don't know what it is. It's fine. I get the hint.
No, I am sort of calling the results as they would be most interesting a little bit more.
Okay.
For instance, originally I would have asked you to make a compel roll to just have her come with you. But I immediately went for the weak hit of, yeah, she'll go with you to take, to sail you off to wherever, but she's not leaving without the treasure. Normally you'd make a roll for that, but I think it's more interesting this way.
Okay. All right.
It fits a more interesting plot.
He's
That's where we
taking
stand.
some creative license with the storytelling aspect.
I'm taking
Always-
a more hands-on approach.
Always with
in
the
Dungeons
shadowy
Mystery.
overwatching,
That's
Well,
right.
that's what the game master does.
That's
like
right.
a
I
hooded
mean,
figure above the crew.
a lot of the early game, I was merely refereeing, but I need to take a bit of an active role occasionally.
Yeah, no, he has to take on the actual game master role and do storytelling.
Yeah, and that's the story.
So it seems that the treasure of Captain Barnes and the Brotherhood are linked together. Once we start trying to go for that, we're going to stir that wasp nest. So do we want to pursue
Let's see.
the centaurs and the elves before shaking that tree and try to be under the radar for a while, or
Well,
Are
I
we
don't
just gonna-
think you're going to get that far without a ship. So I think the order of operations is going to be reclaiming the treasure, getting back on the sea, and then sailing to the next island. And then following up on the elves, centaurs, mana spring.
I mean, technically we have a boat.
What's that?
I mean, technically we have a boat.
Yes, that is trying to be manned by 3 people who don't really have a whole lot of sailing experience.
Meanwhile, they have a fleet of ships, and who knows how many people.
Well, I understood, but like my point is, if the point of the story is, well, we need to get a boat, technically we have one.
Yes.
So if we just wanted to avoid the Wasps' Nest, as we're putting it for the moment, and be like, well, Captain Barnes' ship, when we left it, was still afloat.
Yes.
And the Dominion is a really awesome ship, so I doubt they would have sank it. But they probably they don't have a good way of knowing where it is.
Right. It's probably still right where you parked it.
Did we park in G or H?
I put the parking brake on the boat before we left. It should still be there.
So, I mean, technically. Okay, new question. Train of thought. Going very fast.
Mm-hmm.
How well armed is the Dominion?
I mean, it certainly does change the adventure from a stealth dungeon crawl to a try and blow up something. I'm not gonna rule it out, but I do think it's unlikely. So I'm gonna say 90.
It's late,
Yeah.
so you can decide next week.
Right. Well, here's the thing. We haven't brought any sort of explosives into the setting. So I don't even know about cannons. I know that's not full on. I know there's a large range of technology. And if nothing else,
Harpoons.
the ballista is possible. Yeah, harpoons.
They bring their laser guns.
The laser guns, plasma grenades. I don't think it's going to be heavily armed, aside from the sailors on board, who will just hit people with swords or whatever.
Okay. So like it might have like a harpoon gun and maybe a ballista, but like nothing.
But it's not really
like
built for
it's
that.
It's not for combat.
Yeah.
It can defend itself, but it is not for combat.
Every weapon you bring on board the trade ship means one less trade good.
Fair.
Well, I think that our goal is pretty clear next week.
I think so, and this feels like a very natural stopping point here. We have a dungeon crawl, perhaps, of sorts.
We're going to be trekking into the darkest dungeon next week on DobbsQuest.
Well, let's see how many people die. There's actually an Ironthorn expansion specifically for dungeons. But I probably won't get it. We're just gonna make something work.
You can get it, like, download it, or do you have to... Something you buy? What is this?
Ironsworn is free, but Ironsworn Delve is a purchased item. Let's see how much that is. Maybe it's not too bad.
You can wing it.
That's true.
We'll just borrow some D&D rules as necessary.
Maybe throw in a little Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like this whole game is just pieces of paper. Like, if one person's bought it, it's probably on the internet. I don't know.
That's true, but we don't advocate for piracy. We're trying to fight the
But
pirates.
we're on boats.
We're technically these people are pirates. The Brotherhood is
It's true.
pirates.
They are engaging in piracy. I imagine that's only one thing on their long docket of crimes.
That's true.
You wouldn't steal a purse. You wouldn't steal a car.
You wouldn't download a boat.
Oh, it's not that expensive. I might look into this. We'll see. I would have to read the whole.
We don't want you to
set.
buy it and then have it be like extremely complicated for one dungeon we do.
It's like, all right, guys, this is gonna be a 4-parter. We're gonna be in this
I
dungeon
spent-
for the next month.
This was $11.99. I'm getting my money out of it.
Yes, get my money's worth of this.
All right.
Reminder, we have a GDB meeting in approximately 12 minutes.
That's a good reminder because I did forget.
I didn't even know about it.
Because you
weird.
don't read Discord.
Because you don't pay
Right.
attention to Discord, yeah.
Da-da-da. All right, well, that is it for
We wouldn't want-
DobbsQuest.
We wouldn't want Dobbs to have to drop money on this, would we?
Oh, dang it, GQ. Now look what you've done.
And to think, he thought he was going to get away without spending $20 tonight.
Everybody get him.
Get him.
Spend his money.
Quick, in the stream. Thank you for watching DobbsQuest, episode 20. Join us next time where Serene, Torgan, and Glaine follow a sea-maddened lady into a pirate's cove and hopefully don't die.
You're not supposed to be drinking this water, you know.
For what it's worth, if you did miss on the face danger in the swamp, there was going to be a rodent of unusual size. That's actually a monster in the Ironsworn rulebook, except they call it a marsh rat.
Marsh rat.
Literally
What's the
says
name of-
the marsh rat is a rodent of unusual size. That is the first line of the description for that monster. Not even
California
joking.
or Alabama beach mouse.
All right, that's it. Everyone have a good night. And we'll
Tennessee
see you next
burrito.
time. The
Bye,
end.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.